Good evening. Welcome to WooTube. My name's Kakurenb-oh, and today I think we're going to be playing some Kakurenb-oh decks, or specifically one Kakurenb-oh deck, or specifically building a Kakurenb-oh deck, and then hoping that Janet lets us play it at least once. That'd be good. How's everyone doing? Hey, Cold Lava. Hey, Lucille. Great to see you both. I am knackered, not gonna lie. It is the first official day of summer holidays. I am on parenting duty this week, and I feel like I've just done about a week's worth of work. It's been a nice day. I've had a lot of fun. Uh, well, yeah. I mean, we did some fun things. We played with some kinetic sand. That's If you haven't played with kinetic sand, I mean, we played with that for an hour, and I was just as entertained as Poppy was. Um, we cleaned out the hamster cage, and then we went to the cemetery and had a water fight with some little water pistols that we've got. It was good, but now I am like exhausted, uh, and have another 3 days to go, so it'll be fine. Um, in news, this is news. Um, so this is the Southwest Regionals, which I'm running this coming weekend. 50 players maximum, and we have sold out. Every single ticket has been sold. If you wanted to come and you missed out, then you missed out. But also, just drop me a message, because I'm working on a way of potentially getting some extra tables. It's not like venue space; it's tables that's more the issue. To see if I can maybe get a couple more people in. So if you did want to come and you missed out on a ticket, then drop me a message on Discord or Slack or Homing Pigeon or however you want, really. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty great event. Can I get you a flight and time off work? Flight, yes. Time off work is less, like as in I could get you a flight. Getting you the time off work might be trickier. That's something that's out of my control, even if the flight is probably out of my budget. But it would have been lovely if you I mean, you should have just just rocked up randomly. I mean, I'll put it this way: if anyone flies from the other side of the Atlantic, then I don't care that you don't have a ticket. I will make it happen. Funnily enough, we were talking about this in UK Slack the other day, because I mentioned that when Brandon came to UK Nats, so 2 years ago, 2022, we walked in on the day of the main event. Sort of said hello to a load of people, all very exciting, and then he said, "Can you take me to Paulie G? I need to buy a ticket." I need to buy a ticket. He got on a plane from Canada without a ticket. Now I leave things till the last minute, but that freaked me out somewhat. Not gonna lie. I'm like, what if they sold out? You'd find a way, wouldn't you? Just have to. It's the king. So yeah, so with that in mind, it's probably worth pointing out that the Midlands Regional is only a couple of weeks away now. This is happening on the 10th of August in Nottingham at the Dice Cup. I have it on. In fact, I know that now over 30 tickets have been sold for this one, and they have a hard cap of 48. So, similar deal. If you were thinking of going to the Midlands Regional, I would probably jump in there and get yourself a ticket just in case. Because yeah, the regionals are popping off. It's really great to see. Cool. Okay, so you're going to Mr. Pele. Going to the East Anglia Regionals in September. That's amazing news. I sadly don't think I can make the East Anglian one. Um, but if something changes, then I will. Like I basically I can't make the Midlands regionals because I am seeing Fortet, which was a birthday present. He's playing like all day in London, so I can't make regional the Nottingham regionals, which I'm really gutted about because it's actually very close to my parents. So could have just like driven up, dropped Poppy off for the day, driven over to Nottingham, played 7 rounds of Netrunner, and driven back to my parents for the night. Um, East Anglia, I can't remember why we currently can't do East Anglia. I think it's some child related thing. But if that changes, then different. Southie Aldershot, I will be going to. I think there's now no doubt in that. I probably should buy a ticket, bearing in mind I'm telling you all to do them. And the northern one in Manchester, I will hopefully be going to as well. Scotland is just a tiny bit too far for me, but there we go. Lucille, I'm in theory running a CO on the 11th. That is the day after this, right? The Sunday. But we're having some last minute issues with the venue. No, I'm going to be at South East Regionals in a few weeks though, and I'm really excited. I will see you there, Lucille. I am also excited. Venue problems is a nightmare. I had venue problems with the Southwest Regional venue, and that was like found out about that a few days before I left for Italy, and I'd already sold tickets, and that was very stressful. But I have a better venue now. I'm like so happy with the venue that we've got, so it kind of all worked out. Game of Droids. Halfway around the world, but glad to see you're making move and influence in the future of Netrunner OP. Yeah, I mean, more than we imagined and quicker than we imagined. Because I mean, this is no longer news, but there was news, and the news was this news. The sort of changes to the organised play season for next year, which essentially brings in district championships, which are regionals, but they're not regionals. So they're not regionals, but they are. We all know they're regionals. They're just districts to regionals. You just can't call them regionals because I think that was the big problem. They didn't want to call them regionals, and that's why I got rid of regionals, because some countries it didn't make sense to have regionals. It's basically just a UK thing. We've got regions, but everyone's got districts, and I quite like district. District is a cool, like, slightly it's cyberpunky enough without being too full on. Talking about too full on, Mega City Championships. They are Nats, but not Nats. They're Knots. So the Knots, or the Mega Cities, the Megos. Pretty cool. I'm fine with that. It's just nationals, but not nationals. And then the others are essentially the same, although additional online tournaments. I'm slightly unsure about how it's all gonna fit in, and whether like that. I guess it doesn't stop people going to the in-person ones per se. But yeah, I think if I'm being slightly negative, I'm not. I think the one reason that I probably feel negative in my brain, and it's an incredibly selfish one, is purely FOMO, right? There are now going to be 6 continental championships, 2 of which are in Europe, and I'll hopefully be able to like do one of them. But I probably won't be able to do 2, and I definitely won't be able to like do the additional online, like, I can't do the APAC Continentals, and so basically there's just more stuff to miss out on, which in my brain is interesting. Mega City, I'm very curious to see if the UK has just one, or if we get 2 to represent the fact that there's London and also Liverpool as national mega cities. Yeah, it's really unclear as to whether they just kind of replace Nats, or whether some places will get, obviously, like big places like the US are planning to get multiple ones, but they had multiple Nats anyway, right? So this was why they've kind of changed the name, so you didn't have like three national champions, which feels a bit odd. Um, but yeah, it's not clear whether like the UK is going to be like one megacity championship, or there'll be another one, or maybe one in like Ireland, possibly. I don't know. I am kind of with Chris Dyer, whose opinion is that there should just be one big like UK tournament per year, like as in on a national scale. And I like that thinking. His thought process behind it is that it gives you one event to get everyone together, like everyone from the UK scene, also people traveling in, what have you. Um, but that's like a one date, and like if you have one big event, then everyone tries to make it to that. If you suddenly go, oh, there's like two big events, then you're kind of splitting people's attention of like, am I going to this one? Am I going to this one? Am I going to try to go to both? There's also the chance that you then go, well, maybe I'll just go to neither. Whereas if you're just like, there's this one date, then it becomes easier to sort of go, yeah, we're going to do it. Uh, yeah, I imagine the in-person ones will/should get scheduled first, and then NSG will schedule the online ones around them. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Like definitely, I think the in-person continentals will have the benefit of sort of everything else being planned around them rather than the other way around. It's kind of, I don't want to put down on the people who organise the online tournaments, because it's not easy, but it's a lot easier to sort of organise an online tournament. Like you don't need to worry about hiring a venue and that kind of stuff. Um, Game of Droids also, I highly encourage as many TOs as possible to apply for districts megos and let SG sort it out. Yeah, I think so. Especially districts. Districts, I think, district is what I'm going to apply for next year. Either that, or like a group of UK TOs decides to stick to, we won't, but to go rogue and just carry on doing regionals, and we'll just do it ourselves. But no, I don't think that will happen. But I will probably apply for like a uh, a Bristol City Grid district, because I do think that all district championships should, by law, have to use the word grid in their name somehow. I think there should be some, like, we're going for this cyberpunk feel with the naming convention, so put a bit of effort into it, Like, it's not just Liverpool District Championship, no. Liverpool City Grid, that's fine. But yeah. And then the rest is kind of all the same, Casual tournament kits instead of COs, I'm perfectly fine with that. In fact, I'm quite happy with that. I always found CO a weird thing. Like I never thought it really said what it was or felt like. I was just never big on that naming convention. CO, like I'm a CO winner. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Like, at least casual tournament kit winner. I'm a casual tournament winner. I'm a tournament winner. You're a tournament winner. Hey, that tells you what you are. You know. And yeah, then there's the World Championship there for Soccer Twin. So all good. Yeah, casual tournament is so much better. I think so too. I think it also just really clearly states what it is. Like I always found that I was explaining what a CO was whenever I was writing like the bump on Always Be Running. I always felt like I had to explain what a CO was, because like I'm aiming it at like obviously like newer players if they want to come, and if they I feel like I had to explain it. So yeah, I've renamed my CO on the 11th to a CT on all the local marketing. Nice. Yeah, why not? Like, screw it. Um, yeah, that makes loads of sense. I think that's great. Lucille, where is your? I could probably just look on Always Be Running, right? Or I was gonna say I'll shout it out, but equally, I can't say exactly where it's going to be because it sounds like because of the issues. Is it? Where am I looking here? The 11th. Is it this one? You're Reading, aren't you? Yes. Um. So there we go. Can't tell you if this is exactly going to be happening at this venue. Um. Got ya. Yeah, I wouldn't listen to who says they're going on ABR or not. Personally, it is useful and it's really helpful from a TO perspective. If you're going to an event, I'll tell you what, click on the little like going thing down here. Um, it just really helps the TOs like have an idea of how many people are going to turn up, which is nice. Um, so yeah, if you're around, so this is in Reading. I was in Reading just on Saturday. I say in Reading. I was going through Reading. I changed at Reading. I was going down to Winchester from Bristol. Um, but yeah, go to Reading on a Sunday. I like a nice Sunday tournament. It is a Sunday, right? The 11th. It must be. Yes, I am 90% sure it is. So yeah, uh, so that's what I think of these changes. I think um, my thoughts are mostly meaningless. Okay, Kakurenb-oh. So the reason that I thought about doing this today is that A, didn't have any ideas. Literally, like this is the first time. It's not that I didn't have any ideas. I've got a little list somewhere of like things you could play on WooTube at some point. But this specifically came because I was doing a little tidy up of my Jinteki deck lists. Not a very good one. I only got as far as tidying it up to 230. Still quite a few on there. But going from the back upwards. And I came across a deck which I played yonks ago, which was in GameNet, so fun for everyone. And it used Vladislavsk City Grid, and don't know if I was just manually advancing this. I've unfortunately deleted the deck, but it had cards in it which you couldn't play anymore now, and I've got better ideas for things that we can do with it. But you had Vladislavsk City Grid, and then you just put it in the server. They'd run through your annoyingly expensive ice because it was GameNet. I think this was post Gold Farmer ban, but I couldn't be 100% sure. So maybe you had to like run through a Gold Farmer each time you wanted to trash this thing, and then the runner would trash it, and then you'd just Kakurenb-oh it back, and then it's back, and it's got 2 counters on it. Which is cool, but you can also use the Kakurenb-oh to like install and double advance an agenda, which you can then score off the Vladislavsk City Grid. Now, why wouldn't you just score the agenda off the Vladislavsk City Grid? Well, there's one really important factor, and that is that Kakurenb-oh happens in one action. And so this is like an unclottable fast advance. Like they have to clot before you take your first action, which is like kind of hilarious. Like you can even like you kind of have to. Well, you don't necessarily have to ask, but you can just pause for a good bit at the start of your turn, and then you do this. And like you res the Vladislavsk City Grid, you play the Kakurenb-oh. They don't have a chance to clot before you can score. Very funny. And the kind of thing which I really like because it means that we can hopefully not spend money on the virus, even though we're still going to want the virus. But we're going to try and not play the virus, even though we are like a fast advanced deck, kind of. We kind of are. So this is like the key. This is like our way we're going to win. But we've also got a new card which works very nicely here, which is Stoke the Embers. Um, we're probably all aware by now that you can like restore a Stoke the Embers from the bin, triggering its ability, and then it's like a 3-2 which you can score out. Um, cheating around clock with triple operation, yeah, exactly. Um, so Stoke the Embers. The one issue with the whole restore game plan is that you need to have it in the bin at the start of turn. So that means that people are playing things like cohort guidance program, or maybe even just like 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 just trashing it. But then it has to kind of sit in the bin, which is scary unless you cohort it at the start of turn, and like your cohorts get trashed, and then you can't get it into the bin. Whereas Kakurenb-oh can trash the Stoke the Embers from your hand. So we've got like, although Restore is technically the better card, we do have a reason to play the Stoke the Embers. And then the nice thing here is that we only need to then score this out. We need a single advancement on a Vladisper City grid, because we can use the Stoke the Embers to put the advancement onto the Vladisper City grid. So that then gives the Vlad grid 2 counters. The Stoke the Embers comes in with 2 counters. We move the 2 counters from the Vladisper City grid and we score out the Stoke the Embers, getting an advancement, putting it back on the Vladisper City grid. Okay. Now, obviously, we also just have Vladisper City grids. We're going to be playing 3 of them. And so we can just sometimes literally fast advance out with them. And because we're playing 3 Vladisper City grid, then we're going to play this in Prav, because it just makes a ton of sense. So haven't really thought this through more than the fact that it's got 3 Vladisper City grids. It's probably got 2 Kakurenb-ohs, because as much as that's against the WooTube rule of we're playing some jank and we're going to play 3 of them, I think 2 is the correct number. But we'll see. If we've got like influence to spare, which I don't think we will, because I think we're going to spend it on ice, then we'll chuck some more in. So agenda wise, we definitely want to Stoke the Embers, and then I also want we're going to go like all out in this one on the like fast advanced train, and we're going to play remastered, because this also lets us potentially score a 3-point Beal. Always excited to see some Prav gaming. Hello, that's a good one. Vestron, Vestron. It might be Vestron. Hey, Dandy. First stream. Welcome. Welcome. You've joined at exactly you get to see exactly the kind of thing that we do on a WooTube stream here, which is nonsense. I don't think Yellow is meant to have skateboard tricks. Yellow, everyone can have skateboard tricks if I'm playing it. So here we just need one other agenda, which is just going to be a tomorrow's headline, because it's a good agenda. So now we can nicely score in 3 scores. We can win with like a 3-point Beal. Like we score a mastered, we can score a 3-point Beal, and we can Stoke the Embers out for the win, or in some other order than that. We're gonna play 3. We just need some money, so we'll put in 3 hedge funds. I've already put the spin doctors in without even realizing, so that's nice. The question is, are we like Oppo or no Oppo? Because we might be Oppo so that we can play like a shipment from Vladispersk as well, but possibly not. Check is to protect the grid is very rude, Mr. Pele. I do like that. I do like that quite a lot. Maybe we can just play checkers to no oppo, or maybe we play like a single oppo. Let's see what we've got in terms of like space. Now, the main thing is I want ice, and I think this is going to be a logjam deck. Like, it just makes sense to be like logjam, Mester Chesto. And then the big question is do we play Vasilisa or not? And I think we do, because I was playing Nathaniel's deck, Gasman's deck, for quite a while. I was actually really quite into it. He played Prav and went like undefeated with Prav at something ACC maybe, like one of the continentals, I think, one of the online continentals. That or APAC, I think ACC. I think we do play some Vasilisas, and that makes me want to play something else that does tags. We have 3 influence left, which we could play more Kakurenb-ohs, or we play like tree lines. Maybe we play tree lines. I want to have Prav always available. Like, I want to be getting Prav counters left, right, and center. As in, if they run at any point, I want to get a Prav counter. So I definitely want to have like enough advanceable stuff. Is like quite an important thing to me. I think we play I think we play some NGOs. I really like install single advancing an NGO in Prav. Rashida seems good. Three NGOs is probably one too many NGOs. Other ice. So we either play tree line, play more agendas. Hearts and Minds is sick, but Hearts and Minds is definitely in a different deck, and that's what Nathaniel was playing. He was playing a deck which had like 2 Hearts and Minds in it, and it was so gross in Prav, because it was way better than, like, people were putting cohort guidance program into Prav and doing the like, oh, you run, I get a counter, you don't run, I get a counter. Hearts and Minds is like, you run, I get a counter, you don't run, I get 2 counters, or I move 1 and I gain 1, and all of a sudden I'm like smashing it out. No, we've Kakurenb-oh is our Stoke manipulation, and our only Stoke manipulation in the deck. Which is enough, I think. I hope. So I think we probably play tree lines. And I don't want to play Toll Booth because it's awful against for Salem. Maybe we play Virtual Service Agent. It's like not the worst. Wall to wall Z-Back. It's like 3 influence. How you doing, by the way? How is business as usual? Oh, business as usual is a really good shout. I'm definitely going to play 1. Because we can fast advance with the business as usual. We have 4 free 2s. But also we kind of want to get these, we kind of want to score these Beals as 3-pointers if possible. We're going to put in 1 business as usual, and maybe it should be 2, because it's actually like very good. Yeah, guard would be a fun reprint. I think we might play like a virtual service agent or 2. We're going to play, I want to play some form of tag. Going to play some form of tag punishment, and predictive panagram is that. Score the Beal as 7-pointers. Yeah, I mean, could try. What other ice? Is there any other ice that actually matters right now? Data Loop is actually quite rude. Endless Euler is quite rude. F2P is bad. Dua. Dua is actually interesting. Hey, Holt Pubba Subba. When I read the title of stream, I was assuming Epiphany. Yeah. We're going Prav today. Funhouse. Just hate resing it. It's fire. I don't think we've got the money for Funhouse. I say that I've put 3 log jams in here, but I really don't like based on the other ice. We run like really cheap ice now, which is why I'm kind of thinking it's probably got to be like because you like the bizarre art. Is it that bizarre? Like I can't even imagine what. It is quite weird, isn't it? I guess it's meant to be like these are the steps going into like a weird spooky funhouse, and there's a roller coaster. I've never really like I particularly don't think I've looked at this art because I've never tilted my head to the side to actually work out what it was. As much as that's the way round it is when it's there. Should play loot box. Someone rezzed a loot box on me at EMEA in the team event. Not only a loot box, but an Italian loot box, and then I had to work out what loot box did, and I didn't let them tell me because it's like, no, I'm gonna work this out from my knowledge of the card and the Italian that's on it. It might be pop-up windows. Genuinely, might be pop-up windows. To get off Mr. Howard's wild ride. Now that is how you know someone's a roller coaster tycoon fan. It might be pop-up windows. Like that kind of solves our money, and we just like jam them over the top of our big ice to deal with like Bankar and inside jobs, and I guess Virtual Service Agent also deals with Bankar. Just feel like money is a bit of an issue. I'm gonna play like 2 pop-up windows, and I've not really got any sentries here. I guess they're all a bit gash, right? Like Vasilisa. Maybe just that's enough. Is there anything which is like worth... Like Dua is the only other thing I'd consider. I might play 1 Dua. Okay, we're at 44 cards. We probably still need some more money. I think it's just got to be money now. Yeah, Dua probably does. Like Vasilisa just has the fun text on it. We're not playing 1 Seraph. I'm sorry, Game of Droids, that's not happening. I had 2 Seraphs in my deck for startup tournament at EMEA, and Losky put a freaking saucy on one and like windowed it about 3 times. Oh, hey Twinkle. So I've got a movable camera now. I'm not going to be able to get this back to this position, but if you hear sounds of scrabbling tonight, then Twinks is sharing the room with me today. Twinkle, say hi. It's really hard to aim this camera so that you can actually see. There's a hamster in there somewhere. There we go. So apologies if her like snuffling around gets picked up. You pick. I can't say it. I'm just going to say Vig. Vig is very nice, but in an assetty like build. I'm actually quite big on the Vig in like asset based Prav. I think it can get out of hand, and it's 4 credits to trash, which is like about as good as you can ask right now. Right, what other money are we playing? We kind of want stuff which sort of forces them to run. I guess we also play like a single Hollow Man. Like, it's just too good. It forces a run. Um, so now it's Oppo or no Oppo. If we play Oppo, we could play like two Oppo and two something that benefits us if they take tags. We do have DBS or federal fundraising is actually I quite like that. I quite like that. Why are we playing Kakurenb-oh? So it does a couple of things. Firstly, we can just like whack a Vlad city grid back on the board with a Kakurenb-oh. That's the like most simple thing. But also we can advance our we can use this to install our agenda, preferably one of these like 4-2s, onto a Vlad city grid and score it all in one action, which avoids the need for like clot deterrence. Do we need Regos or Plano? I've got Planos. Rego is a good shout. Rego is probably correct. It is a bit slow, but we're like a little bit. I think we play Rego, and then 2 slots. I quite like Federal or possibly DBS. DBS is like more expensive to trash. I quite like the idea of just sticking out some DBSs. Like they seem pretty important as a like you got to run them, right? Maybe we play like 3 DBS and what's better? Federal fundraising is much cheaper to trash, but it also doesn't cost us anything to res. Daily business show. I think we're going to play daily business shows. Yeah, it seems all right. We got like a ton of assets, but that's okay. We're proud. We want them to run. Yeah, I think DBS is severely underplayed. Vig, it's not that it's too slow. It's that like I think we'd kind of want to advance it, and I think here we're more interested in advancing like our log jams, potentially our tree lines, our message estos, or our Vlad city grids. Um, yeah, I don't know if we need raw draw power. I think we do want more like just yeah. Let's try this. We'll see how the ice sweep feels. We'll see how we feel about the fact that we have like no real tag punishment other than predictive planogram and predictive planogram, um, which makes the virtual service agent really weird to play. But I guess we can trash stuff, maybe. A third NGO? We could play the third NGO instead of the regolith. Like, I don't hate third NGO instead of regolith. Let's play NGOs instead of regolith. We can install Advances. If they run it, it's good for us. If they run somewhere else, it's even better for us. Um, Now the big question is, does Jinteki play ball tonight or not? We'll find out. Prav. I have no idea if I'm spelling Kakurenb-oh right. I'm not going to check. Can't even spell that right. What are we? We were caught. Howdy. What money did we put in it again? Maybe the regolith is better. Maybe it does want the regoliths. I'm switching to. I'm gonna go like 2 of each. We're gonna go 2-2-2 because when you can't work out what you want to play, you just play 2 of everything. That way we've always got a chance of just spamming out some stuff. Forcing them to run. Seems good. Like, if we were going to put tag punishment in here, the big question is, like, what would it be? Because if we put in shipment, then we're even more into the, like, weeds of we are all in on fast advance. I need to move my camera to somewhere. Probably to here. Let's go tier 1. Bring it on. Single retribution. It's not bad. Okay, well, at least they're gonna run. Like, they're definitely gonna run. I'm gonna keep this because we're gonna keep the like logjam regolith start. Seems good enough to me. Especially like logjam is exactly the ice we want against Arasana if we want to have any chance of jamming something out behind it. So we're just gonna go like new remote, stick the rego in there, play one of these for money. So Arasana, this is World Tree Arasana, we know that from the number of cards. Oh, this is fine. Haha, we get our money back. Marvelous stuff. Trust Op would be cool. Trust Op would be if we didn't have to spend so much influence on ice, but I genuinely think we do, then Trust Op would actually be like excellent. Okay. Now we don't want to get like trick shotted turn 2, so we're gonna that's slightly scary, but we're just gonna res this, take some money. And then this Vasilisa is going to go on R&D because it is just annoying enough for now. Like single retribution, we could just play a single of the other one. What's the yellow one? Can't think what it's called. Okay, tree from hand. Probably snipes for remastered here. Okay, just using the world tree to trash for Parisia. We're gonna start advancing this logjam. Excellent. She sees the predictive. So at the moment, this is quite easy to get through for a cleaver, but we can hopefully get it to the point. Yeah, self-growth. That's what I was thinking of. Like, if we tree line this logjam, then Lucille will need to hush it and have a cleaver down. Otherwise, like, she's essentially never getting through it. Oh, going back. Sees a spin. Probably trashes a spin. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. We could look for ice. That is, like, the perfect. Well, it's not a perfect ice because Lucille gets through each time, but that's actually pretty good. I think we're gonna try and go double logjam on server. So normally I'm not big on just trying to ice up everywhere, but we can res all of this stuff. It's actually pretty good. The Dua's really annoying at this point in the game for World Tree. So we're going to put the Dua on HQ and we're going to put a pop-up window on Archives. And we're like annoying enough here to run. Wherever she runs, she doesn't get in for free. This Dua unfortunately can be bypassed by Thessalim, which will get around the encounter as well. But if she doesn't Thessalim it, then she can't even get her World Tree trigger, which is very funny. I thought that was an FTP for a sec. Whatever happened to that ice? Yeah, it's not good anymore. I mean, it's like not the worst, but we are gonna pay here because I really want to get this logjam to just a stupid number, essentially. Yeah, it's like just not that great right now. When you've got like Unsmiling Serevna, which I think is actually a very good piece of ice, or Starlit Night, which is potentially a very good piece of ice. What's Lucille getting here? This might be oh no, okay, fine. We're gonna carry on advancing this logjam. Does bum. Does Entangler get around? There's a ruling on the encounter that hits the stuff. Yeah, so Anansi's a bit different because Anansi, please don't click on that link. Anansi is like on when you pass it. It's not an on encounter ability. It's like a different ability. Lucille, you better clear this tag, or I am trashing that environmental testing. Okay, she does. We can like pop up window here. I'm quite good with that. So we're gonna go pop up window on R&D. Really loving these pop up windows right now, and we'll take some more money. As much as like this is the worst way to play against World Tree because we're just letting them get set up. This is fine for right now. Yeah, Anansi is when an encounter ends, so it's a bit different for Anansi. Like Anansi, you will still take the damage. Let's see if Lucille has a way of getting a Thessalim right here, right now. Because if not, this is an entire turn that Tree has turned off. I am getting set up too, but if she steals the remastered edition here, which is a 1 in 3, then we are in some trouble. Like next turn, I think it's like click the regolith, install the logjam, install the remastered. Just click face check Dua. First click face check Dua is kind of nasty. Yeah. Oh, and it's firing. Oh, it's firing. Well, I don't want her to have a coalescence back in hand. That's for sure. So this environmental testing goes bye-byes. Or not bye-byes, but it goes, where does it go? Top of a stack? Very rude. Right, don't hit the remastered. Because, like, we actually have a chance here against World Tree Arasana, which is very funny. Yeah, you can manually reinstall that. Lucy realised that she can still trash with World Tree, just can't install. You can still trash for the cost. uh, Right. Leave it in the bin for now. Yeah. Has she actually accessed yet? Like, I don't know if I'm safe in this run or not. Yeah, she's sort of logjam. Brilliant. Okay. I mean, this pop-up window is not gonna keep her out for long. The mess in the chest though could. I don't think I want a mess in the chest though on archives. That feels probably incorrect. And I definitely want like double. I think I definitely want double logjam. Is that right? I'm leaving myself open to. I'd be leaving myself open. Hmm. I think I want double logjam here. Messner Chesto HQ. I think HQ is quite safe right now. She doesn't have access to a Fasalem, otherwise she Fasalems it last turn. Like she's gonna go archives. So I think HQ right now I feel pretty comfortable about. Um so it's whether the Messner Chesto goes on server one or the logjam goes on server one. I think it's the Messner Chesto. For now, it's gonna be the Messner Chesto. Like we potentially need this other logjam to go on R&D, but we'll see. It's a good ice. Unfortunately, Dua like so we were testing Dua a little bit as like surely this is like a good answer to World Tree, and it's unfortunately not as much as it's should be the perfect ice. World Tree decks are playing. Oh well, that's an annoying draw. I think I'm gonna take a credit and advance twice. Um, as much as it should be the perfect ice, World Tree Arasana is playing some number of Airblades, sometimes as many as three, which turns off the on-encounter ability. It's obviously playing for Salems, which gets through for a credit and turns off the on-encounter ability. Uh, we get a credit. Lucille gets in for cheap, but still a like 2 credit swing. She ran here. Where are we putting the counter? Is it going on the Messner Chesto? I feel like this Messner Chesto is just going to get bypassed anyway. So it might just be to continue pumping up this logjam. Or we advance for a mastered. No, I'm going to do Messner Chesto. Pretty sure this is safe. Cleaver's coming down. I'm quite glad that we didn't go double logjam. Because if she has access to Hush. Here, what would she need access to? She'd need access to... Oh, a trick shot. Well, we'll res another pop-up window. You just taking the tag off this? Probably. We've like played 2 of our predictives already. Oh, just okay, fine. How much is this to break? That's annoying. That means I assume she has access to a Fasalem or a Muse or an SMC. She'd be trashing a lot of rig to get out an SMC. Sure. No, because it will give her 10. It will give her 9 credits. I was gonna say surely if she had the SMC, she wouldn't have enough money, but I think she will. We'll see though. Like this either gets Fasaland or it doesn't. Like okay, so it's not immediate, so that's good. The logjam right now is like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 credits to break. How are you even getting through this? I suppose you're installing something, popping environmental testing. It's like a slap vandal coming down or something. No, you can't afford this. Surely you can't afford this. Can you afford this? There's no way that you can afford this. I don't think you can afford this. Interesting. Uh, okay, so you encounter first, so you lose. Yeah, 1 for Messner Chesfo. It's 4 for Messney. You can redo the trick shot. Why is Messney 4 straps? Because otherwise it would be absolutely garbage. Yeah, Hush in hand. But no, well, Hush in hand doesn't help because she installed Buzzsaw from hand. Like, otherwise, maybe just go and get the money. Go and get the accesses, even. And then clear a tag? Don't know actually what money you clear you clear the tag with, so. I think she just thought she could break Messner Chesvo for 1 because you. Oh right, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she does have the hush. John had called it. So where's this going? This is going here. Which is interesting. Yeah, yeah. You got it. Okay. The hush is a big problem. That's gonna turn off our logjam. So we can go advance, advance, install the Rashida. I think it's fine. Otherwise, we go like gamble, advance, advance. I think advance, advance, install the Rashida is the better line. Played this terribly, but in my defense, I have also drawn very back to front, as I do every time I play a game on stream. I'm going to counter that and say that that is how the deck draws. Like if you want to try and play particularly big deck World Tree Arasana, and you don't want to be like me and cut down to like slightly less cards, for instance, the deck will draw badly. Like it will always draw badly. Or not always, but you have to like be ready for that. Ooh, okay, she's sorting it. Yeah, getting a lily pad here, which is correct. We get an advancement taker. We're going to put it on. I think we do keep advancing this logjam, even though it's going to get hushed. But we're going to start building up this other logjam also on the server, and then we'll be good. Muse probably pulling a coalescence from a bin. Yeah. Feeling good about these pop-up windows right now. Funnily enough, like the pop-up windows, basically stolen that from Will as well. If you remember, like a few weeks ago, I played a deck with public forum. Is it public open forum? And that was an idea stolen off Will, and the and he's changed a bunch of his ice in his deck for pop-up windows, and they just get me every time. Like, so, like I run because he's got like 1 credit, and I'm like, why? There's nothing you can res. It's always a sodding pop-up window. Then it costs me a credit, gains him a credit, and then I'm suddenly like, this is not as good as I like. I've actually found him to be pretty good. Right. So now the question is, where does this logjam go? Where does this Mester Chespo go? I think they're going on R&D if they're going anywhere. Probably the logjam is the more important. Time to start building up our other logjam. I would love to draw into Vladisburst City Grid anytime now. I guess we do have to get this logjam to like some decent level first. Wonder if Lucille's on Clot. Yes, please. Okay, we've drawn our Kakurenb-ohs and nothing to do with them. So, our tree line's quite nice for this logjam, actually. We might just tree line the logjam. We're going to put another piece of ice on archives. It's probably going to be the VSA. Unfortunately, there's nothing to put in the server. It's really upsetting. We definitely tree line the logjam. That makes it pretty rude. I think just VSA. That's been like 2 credits. She's going to take a tag until she puts down a buzzsaw. Still like 2 credits and we gained credit. Kakurenb-oh or Rashida is not like the worst option. But I think there's other things that I want to do with this turn. We could draw. We should also potentially ice R&D. So I'm going to put this on archives. We're going to expend this to pump up the logjam. And then we put this logjam onto R&D. Possibly getting rid of this Vasilisa? Don't know. I think we're going to leave it for now. Really upsetting that we drew nothing to like nothing. We've got like 12 assets. I'd have even put a sodding DBS in the server if we drew one. Tell you what, that's good because we've just put stuff that gives tags out. So I quite like that. So currently this logjam is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to have 8 counters on it, the top one. The bottom one's got 7 counters on it. Even with turbines, these are going to be annoying. How are we not drawing stuff? Right, so we draw. You are absolutely shitting me. Okay, well, we logjam another one of these. We tree line another one of these logjams, I think. We might actually need to tree line this one on R&D. Or we draw one more time. We can chuck away this Vasilisa. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Or we protect HQ. I think we have to draw again. Fine. Can we score this out using a remastered edition next turn? Yeah. Is that worth it? Like, that's a remastered edition counter. I think we just jam this in the server. It's unfortunate. Vasilisa can go, and probably one of the Mester Chestos. That's got to be like the worst option here. Kind of want to keep all the other stuff. Cactus Lab, going to my first serious event since 2018. No meta knowledge, no testing done, but still looking forward to it. Guess it's the inner masochist speaking of me. It'll be fun no matter what. Winning at big tournaments is as fun as losing at big tournaments, in my opinion. And yeah, like, I think you'll have a good laugh either way. Do you well, you don't have to say in case you give stuff away. Any idea maybe even what IDs you're taking? I'm guessing you're probably not going to be on Glacier BTL Cactus Lab. Okay, are we resin this logjam? I don't think we are. Costs us 6. We need to be able to res this one on the server. Also, this is an overclock run. So no. Gonna get some money from our pop-up windows. Feel good about that. So let's see what. There's 2 cards in my hand next to each other that do the same thing, and I may have clicked the wrong one. Was this meant to be a trick shot? You can redo. I wouldn't res either way. I'll be on pile of cards decks. Excellent stuff. You continuing here? Is Lucille continuing? Maybe she is. I love a good pile of cards. The best thing is just bring them in a pile. No sleeves or nothing. Just like stick them in a bucket. And dump them on the table in front of your first round opponent. Get them to deal with it. They're going to see 2 here, and they're probably going to see an agenda because we've just drawn so many cards and not found anything. Ooh, do we pay 1? I think we do pay 1 to put a counter on Stoke the Embers so that we can score it out. But yeah, Ampere is like definitely the most pile of cards deck you can play. Maybe this is incorrect because we were about to get another counter anyway. Are we just putting the other counter here anyway also? Means we could jam something in the server, but Lucille's C in the top here, so it's not like we're going to get a good thing to jam. I guess the answer is probably advance a logjam. It might not be. It might be to advance the agenda. Thinking. Okay, so Lucille runs here now. She hasn't yet arried, which I assume is how she's going to get through this Mester Chessbow. She's got 12 credits. This logjam we decided was going to be 8 strength, which is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 5 boosts, like 10 credits. I think this server is quite safe. So I'm going to advance the agenda because I'm not scared. Advancing the logjam in front of R&D is also not a bad shout and probably was a pretty good way to go. Like, I think we probably logjam it next turn. Oh, what did she see? She saw an NGO and a something. And a something that made her sigh. I think we probably, for what it's worth, put the Stoke the Embers counter on the logjam on R&D. So the thing that's obviously a logjam. That's can I count? Yes, I believe those maths theoretically work out. Server 1 isn't real. Yeah, just look R&D here. It is probably correct. So yeah, so now we're gonna invest in this logjam. Unfortunately, this like having a single logjam on R&D is not gonna do us much good. So we're gonna need to get the single logjam up to a strength where she needs to hush it, and then also put the messenger chest over there, so she can't hush both. And hope that she doesn't find an air blades. Covellation could be rude. Hedge fund is good. So we either go advanced. I mean, we go advance. We've got nothing that we can jam depressingly. So it'll be this log jam. And then we either tree line it or we play the hedge fund. I think we tree line it. Which unfortunately just means that she moves the hush there and then runs it, because now it's really sodding obvious what it is. And then we have to get a Messner Chespo in front of it as well. Yeah, there we go. Nobody knows. Uh, Do we sack off the Vasilisa now? Don't know. I think we probably do to install the Messner chest though. I guess it's going to help us if we can push stuff into the server. It's going to really help us. Yeah, she is just. Do we res here? Costs her 2 credits. Then this is 1 credit. This is 1 credit. So it doesn't cost her any of the real credits. Really need to get this Mr. Chesto down. Go on then. I'll let you through. Maybe the correct thing there wasn't to play the tree line. It was just to install the Messner Chespo. Do you install the tree line and try to advance that really high as well? Maybe yes, that's also a good option. Having 2, oh well, this Vasilisa is definitely going now. Yeah, having 2 high strength barriers actually would have been like pretty good. Yeah, maybe I should have just used that tree line as ice. Because it's like very obvious what's going on here now. Pop-up window though. Good ice. When your ice means shit anyway, you might as well make it give you money. Okay, well now at least we know that we're definitely trashing this. Are we advancing anything here? I don't think so. We could Kakurenb-oh the tree line from the bin, right? This. What does Kakurenb-oh say? What agenda, asset, or upgrade? Oh no, we can't. Okay, ignore me. Can't do that. Yep. That's the problem. Well, we are going to advance this tree line because we have to be able to lock out the like hush as an option. Oh, I can't advance it because it's got a hush on it. That's hilarious. How funny. Yeah, I kind of thought I was cooking. We've just lost a Beal, which means if Lucille goes back, she's going to see at least 2 fresh cards. And she trashed a Spin Doctor. That's 2 Spin Doctors out. Not that we care too much. We also know that she's got the Buzzsaw in hand, right? I think we have to res this Logjam here. If we res the Logjam, can we res a Messner Chespo next turn? We can play the Hedge Fund, just install Messner Chespo. Like, otherwise this run is credit neutral for her. I think we gotta res it. Oh, but if we res it, it doesn't get the... It won't see the cards in archives. Grim. Very grim. Pop-up window, though. Doing so much work. It's like the best dice in our deck. Okay, so next, like, I'm semi-tempted to rip apart this server, but it definitely doesn't make sense. we've got to keep this logjam here to force. Um, to force that stuff. Hedge, install Messney, and bow. I think I need to keep the bow. Like, it's definitely hedge, install Messney. I think it has to be hedge, install Messney, advance the Messney. We lose a Hollow Man. We lost the remastered. Unfortunate. If Lucille has exactly an Airblades in hand, then we're like absolutely wrecked next go. The goal was to build Lock. The Lock is 0 cards deep. Yeah, on the plus side. Yeah. Yeah, don't moan too much. Okay. Rashida is lovely. Can we afford to, can we jam the Rashida? Can we jam the Rashida? Okay, David, I missed that. I missed the fact that I was at Fret and we could purge out the conduit. The thing is, I don't think I need to purge the conduit this turn. I want to install the Rashida. Whatever happens, the first thing that's happening is this is going in the bin, and the Messner Chesto is going on R&D. Hey, Koga, how you doing? We're just playing some like Kakurenb-oh Prav, um, because it's fun. So now the next big question, once this installs any minute now, we could go hedge fund install Rashida, or we can go advance the Messner Chesto. The Messner Chesto might just be good enough on its own. We got now. Maybe we do play the bow. Like, to get through this, Lucille even needs Fasarum. Might have access to Fasarum. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we know that she has Buzzsaw in hand, but if she Fasalums the Messler Chesto, then we're in trouble. But then it doesn't matter whether we advance the Messler Chesto or not, right? If it's Fasalums. So I think like Rashida Hedge is correct. We also then don't give away anything about this ice. I wonder if she might be considering running the bin, running the server. Also, at some point, we'll draw a sodding Pravdivost city grid, or whatever it is, Vladisbursk city grid. Yeah, even moving Harsh to server one continues to just yep. Um, I mean, Lucille doesn't have to care about server one right now, technically. If there were two cards in it, there's a chance it could be like Hollow Man plus Beal. Then you'd have to be worried. We're going. We're going to resume some chest though. Hopefully there's just no Fasalem. There's a Fasalem. Yeah. Well, at least we didn't advance it because that would have meant absolutely nothing. Fine. I think we have to res this logjam, unfortunately. Like, we have to cost the credits. She's going to see free cards, and they're going to be the free cards that we draw. Oh, does Hush work now? Sick. We get a credit from pop-up window. Great ice. Loving this pop-up window. She can't get back in unless she clicks for 2 credits. Isn't able to do that. How much have Windows Paper? Way too much. I have not stopped talking about them the entire game. Best ice. I know you have a buzzsaw in hand. So next turn we actually just have to purge. Unfortunately, 4 credits is steep when you draw none of your econ. Yeah. Can't moan too much if you're playing World Tree Arasana. So next time we probably don't pop this Rashida, we just purge. Assuming we don't just lose. Like, we might just lose. Because then we get rid of, like, all of this. We'll put a counter on the Messenger chest, though. Because... Bah, GG. Oh, I feel like we nearly had something there. Like, if we had... Oh, well, there we go. So, who was correct? Someone, David, suggested we do the business as usual. We should have done the business as usual. No, we would purge Holt's Proper Summer because we want to get rid of the Entangler as well. Like next turn, we just purge and we deal with both of these. Actually, you know it wasn't you. The entire chat knows it wasn't you. Hello, though. How are you? Hope you're well. Rashida. Couldn't draw agendas for the life of me earlier. Hella. Ooh, yeah, Propeller gets through. Logjam, Hush for the first one, Silent for Messney. There you go. That's just the absolute nonsense, which it was the top of R&D. No, but I think if the conduit was on 0 counters, then possibly Lucille runs this server this turn because she's just said that she had a way of getting in. So there's a good chance that Lucille actually does not run. Doesn't the correct move for her here, bearing in mind she has access to Fasalem, is to hit the conduit. I'm here to force saying bad jokes week after week. Axu, it's what we love you for. If you bow purge, I 100% run S1 with the line I just described. Yeah, there we go. So David has had the line here, like 100%. And then we actually start drawing into agendas which we can put through here, and you'd have just burned off your propeller, and we'd know where your Fasalem was. So I think we've actually got like a pretty good chance there. Where were all of our grids? Oh, here they all are. pretty far down. We drew all of our ice. Did we draw all of our ice? I think we did. Look, there's no ice left. We drew every single piece of ice. With the best ice being the pop-up windows. I was tempted to start hammer in hand. Yeah, I just couldn't. I have like Kakurenb-ohs and a business as usual in hand. I couldn't. I just couldn't find any agendas. Like I think I had a pretty good window early on, and it just didn't happen. Well, that didn't feel awful, and it was against World Tree Arasana, and I think if we had a slightly better like draw, it might have gone somewhere. Maybe. We got to do absolutely zero of any of the nonsense because we didn't have any Vlad grids. We didn't have a good reason to play a Kakurenb-oh. And so yeah, so far Kakurenb-oh's played 0. This is an interesting start. We're against Mercury. Do we install 2 Rashidas and an NGO and see what happens? Do we install like Rashida, Regolith, NGO, and also see what happens? I think we probably mulligan. This is likely a pretty bad matchup for us. Okay, pop-up windows are great to put outside other ice because we need to deal with like inside jobs. The tree lines I think we're going to use as just ice here because what we're going to need is just lots of ice. Like we don't really care about the strength of it. None of that means shit, really. We can draw one. We'll draw with Spin Doctor. Do I want to draw with Spin Doctor? I might just want to. Do I want to go like tree line, and then put a pop-up window over the top of one of said tree lines? Probably HQ. I think I do. We're gonna go HQ, R&D, HQ. Very possibly wrong. What just happened to my screen? Well, there we go. I think we're all right. This is likely wrong, but I'm going to just respect Mercury a little bit. Oh yeah, we'll res a pop-up window every day of the week. I guess here we can't actually res both of these, so this is like likely wrong. We get a credit back at least. We're gonna get a counter when they run R&D, which they will, which they should. Like nothing keeps them out here. Yeah. So maybe this is, well, they're going to pressure our centrals no matter what we do. So let's just hope they're not on reprise. It's not a real card, right? So they're probably not. Casts, fine. They saw this predictive. We can get the Spin Doctor out. These are safer in hand right now than anywhere else. So we're just going to put like Vasilisa on R&D and then gain some money. And this is kind of fine. We've got one piece of ice to stop the inside jobs. You can continue through. And you can't continue through past here. Pop-up window, secret anti-mercury tech. Yeah, potentially, as long as we can get it on the outsides. Like I'd have loved it if this was a pop-up window as well. That would be my ideal setup, I think. Oh, another predictive. Let's draw one. Master Chesto is good for a server. We can just credit predictive. I shouldn't credit that. I should draw because, like, essentially, if no, I was going to say if he draws into a boomerang, then we're giving him exact like 5 credits for doof potential, but we'd gain a credit off pop-up window anyway. So okay, we see a gamble, an Esterado. We're not at fret, so we can res the Vasilisa. Jack out. Nice. That's potentially good enough for like archives. I'm gonna draw one. Okay. It's getting a bit stuffy in hand, but I'm gonna put this on archives just to dissuade. I don't want Holtz Publisher to get like free dirty laundry runs. But B, they're the kind of player that probably will be on Eru or like Divide and Conquer or something like that. So I just want to show a little bit of respect for those kind of things. Carpe Diem. Do we want to res this duo here? We kind of give them the daily casts back. That's probably bad, right? Where does it go? Top of a stack. So it's costing them a draw and a reinstall. It's costing them 2 clicks and 3 credits. But they will gain. Okay, that's cool because now we don't have to decide anymore. They're just doing the money. Yeah, it does make no sense. Very wild. Okay, now we've got to decide again. Damn it. I feel like we just let him through here. Unfortunately, this has made the bravado better. Maybe we play it. Maybe we res it. I'm gonna res it. It slows him down a bit. Not at all. Ironically, they probably don't have that much that they're going to install, and they could play this very carefully because this isn't a May, right? Like, we'll advance this one. This isn't a May. So they could play this very carefully and just keep recurring these daily casts back to hand. Because if they're just on like, Mercury's normally got a pretty small rig. I think we pop this for the predictives. We're like very low on money right now. Okay. NGO is really good. But we can't afford to install it here, unfortunately. Daily cast comes back down. Pass axe. was probably in hand last turn. We're really flooding up here. How obviously is this an NGO front? Like, really obviously, but I think we just have to play it anyway. We're not going to be able to res this Mester Chest though, which is a shame. I think we advance once and we take a credit. Looking like we might be able to res this ice. Yeah, that feels correct. They have a lot of money. Mercury doesn't normally have this much money. The big question is can she use it? We definitely need a second piece of ice on this server, unfortunately. I'll take a pop-up window right now. Or like a virtual service agent. Virtual service agent actually pretty sick. Did we take... Oh, that's a problem. At least doesn't deal with this. It doesn't deal with Massachusetts and it doesn't deal with the tree lines. They are on Manuel, so they are on Eru. That's cool. That's a cool idea. So we're gonna get Eru'd. At the moment, all the agendas are in the hand. So do I care? Not sure. This goes to the server 2 and we take 2 credits. If I Kakurenb-oh out the Stoke the Embers, I gain 2 credits. So I gain the money back from the Kakurenb-oh and I put a counter on it. I will not be able to res both the Logjam and the Messner Chest though. It's a shame. This is a cool idea though. This is like Manuel is unsurprisingly kind of not a card that we see outside of Seb, and even in Seb, um, as much as it should be in Seb decks, it's not always in Seb decks. But this plus Eru in Mercury does like feel pretty gross, right? That's potentially seeing. There we go. Just drew it. Just drew it off the top. Oh, even better. This you can get around with the Melandrogum. Luckily, almost all of the agendas are in HQ, so that's good for us. We need to get this logjam to at least like more than 3 strength. It's really important that it's more than 3 strength, so that this can't bypass it with the counters. Okay, sees 3 cards, removes the tag, makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I mind too much. Now, the real big question, I just don't really have the money. We can't res both of these pieces of ice. So I think we just put the Messenger Chest though on archives because we're going to need it somewhere at some point and take 2 credits and hopefully draw into some money and not a Rashida, ironically. I'm convinced there's a secret bad shuffler they give people with UK IP addresses. Yeah, maybe. I would love these 2 cards to be the other way around. Yeah, Hermes is problematic. How are you getting in here? I'm going to give him a second to think this through. I think they've realised. Yeah, not yet. Secret Stuff Alert is active over in the US too. It's like literally just APAC that gets away with it. Okay, so we could Kakurenb-oh out for Stoke the Embers. How bad is that as a play? We can afford to res both these pieces of ice. The logjam comes in at 3 strength, so this is no good right now. Rough. I guess if they inside job, we get to res both of these. They lose some money. If we Kakurenb-oh this down, then they Eru us. Like, every day of the week. I think I have to click for credits here. I think I might throw an agenda into archives. Like, I think I throw one into archives. I might even throw the Stoke the Embers into archives. So that, like, I could Kakurenb-oh it out of archives. Because I don't feel like Holt's Pub and Subban is ever just running archives. Like, they can run... Oh, hello. Yeah, you see, if they run with Eru. Because why wouldn't you? Well, there's no point in resing this. Still, most of our agendas are in hand, so although they're seeing quite a lot, right? How many do they see here? Is it 4? This is not a threat free, so it's like 3. They see 3. Also, you remember how we didn't put the virus in here? Ah, maybe he forgets to clear the tag. Doesn't forget to clear the tag. Feels like this deck's also going to be on Hot Pursuit, right? I'd be on Hot Pursuit. So we could overwrite this mess in the chest, though. Or we could purge. If we purge, we're probably throwing out... I think we purge. And then we either throw out the Master Chest, though, in which case maybe we should have overwritten and taken 2 credits, then we'd be up 1. Thus, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to throw out the predictive. Is Holt's Pub and Subban related to HR Puff and Stuff? I don't know who HR Puff and Stuff is, but that's a fantastic name. I assume it's like some kind of... Is it like a... What do you call it? Like a mascot or something for a type of food? It sounds like it. I'm gonna have to look it up. Not on stream though, just in case. I mean, if it's not something that's incredibly fine. It sounds very PG, HR puff and stuff. I assume it is. Right, what are we doing next turn? Are we Kakurenb-ohing this from bin? I think we are. It's back! Maybe we're just purging again. It's children's TV from the 70s. Very cool. So maybe we overwrite this one, install the regolith. And then take a credit. See if we can force a run here. Oh, we get an inside job. Okay. Do we res anything? I think we res. It means that we've then got our stuff resed. If we res this and this, we're down to. This is 6. They get through it. Why do I get the feeling that Holtz is going to be on reprise? I get a really big feeling he's on reprise. Because we could res both of these, which feels like quite good in terms of having them resed for Hermes. And then we can probably recover with the regolith, right? Because this is 11, 12, 13. We can't res this messenger chessbow as well. Or we just let them in to trash the regolith. But I kind of want to have these things resed. I'm going to res them both. Like, this drains 6 credits, which feels good enough. Yeah, will cost you some money. If he does go archives, we just have to remember to res the regolith so that it doesn't get bounced. The 70s were all about puff and stuff, from what I hear. Love it. Should have kept the reprise. Oh, I literally just said on stream, you are the type to be playing reprise. Okay, well, this is kind of fine. Can they afford to trash this? Oh, they can't afford to trash it. They can't afford to trash it. This is sick. Bottomed it with class act, yeah. So they bypass it. They have not enough credits left. We're going to advance the archives. They see a rego. They are upset by the rego. I would be as well. Bill script. A card that is back in with the times. All right, so here we can recover, which is nice. We unfortunately have to purge before we jam anything in this server. Unless we get one more piece of ice, maybe. Like, we might be able to, if we put just like a piece of like a pop-up window or something in the front here, then that's probably good enough. Logjam is a bit too expensive. So we might go with the tomorrow's headline, and then we might try and trash this Eru. Are they going to be on 2? I don't. Maybe 2 Eros. Maybe we trash for Manuel? Like, as in, I'm thinking about over advancing this. Or we just take some more money this turn. Or we put the Logjam. The Logjam's very expensive. I'm going to put this in the server. If we draw a cheap piece of ice, then we might go like advance, maybe double advance, install cheap piece of ice in front of a Logjam. Absolutely ideally, we want a pop-up window. Because then we can maybe... That is fine. Actually quite good. Let's put that here. And then we'll do advance, advance. Like, I guess, gonna be on Hot Pursuit? I'd be on Hot Pursuit if I was playing Manuel. But to get into to HQ, they probably need a boomerang. But we'd still see 2 cards. What are we trashing the Eru? Annoyingly, if we're trashing the Eru, we kind of... It's a shame that they don't have to bounce this Archives Ice, which probably does nothing. Mary! Blah. Right, well, we're definitely trashing the Eru because we've now seen, like, enough influence. But I don't think there's a second Eru. And there might not be... Oh, they returned the Messenger Chest, though. That is wild. That does suggest that they're on a second Eru. So I think we might have to put a Messiny back. I'd love to be able to use this predictive. Also, we've kind of got to put the Messiny back. What do we throw out here? Are we really throwing out a Vlad City Grid? Surely not. It might have to be this Logjam. Kind of need the money from that predictive. Yeah, I have to put this Messiny back because there's also an agenda in Archives, which I hadn't completely forgotten about. Why is Archives pink? Don't know. Banner? Oh shit. And they've got a tag, so they're getting their Manuel. Oh, that's hilarious. They're gonna steal agendas here. Okay, so we need to boost these. Fantastically, we only need to boost them once. This probably deals with this Logjam pretty well as well, right? Until we boost it again. So then I fire it, right? I still get the credit. Sick. What are we making bigger this time round? Is it the HQ? No, I think we do because they're. I don't think they run back HQ because they're gonna already C2. Um, and I'm really scared of them running R&D because they're gonna see like a ton. Yeah, they get to. That is unfortunate. Just don't have a reprise right now because that would be upsetting. Okay, so this actually currently deals with our logjam really well. They run the server for 4 credits. Could be a problem. So we need to boost this logjam. Oh, they're on hush. Disgusting. Surely they just run here because they see a ton of cards. Yeah. We'll pay 1 because we now just need to get stuff big. Oh, they're on hush though. Oh. Oh, I need to give you a tag. I get another credit, but now they see what? 4 or 3? Did they see 2 off HQ? At least we can trash all their stuff now. Who suggested the retribution? Because it's sounding real good right now. Okay. Now we know that R&D is pretty safe. Unfortunately, the remote is not. So I think it's like install Vladgrid and then trash. Probably just Manuel. Do I need to trash the Mary? Oh, I've got a treasure card from my hand. Sure. Um, the VSA is probably the worst card in my hand. I do actually need to trash the Mary. Because otherwise R&D, at the moment R&D is very weak. Okay. Well, we get predictive value next turn. So that's something. Also, if they run, do we have enough money to fast advance this Kakurenb-oh? We need 3 credits to res the Vladisper City Grid. And then 2 credits to play the Kakurenb-oh. We get 2 credits back. Yeah, so we can score the Stoke the Embers, which is in the bin next turn, if they make 1 run. They do not make a run. Hollow Man is good. Let's get our value here. Okay. Pop-up window is good. I wonder if we've been off this Vasilisa on R&D. We're putting a message chest on R&D. And then we need to do one other thing. It might be put spin into the server to try and force a run. Or it's put spin on the outside. We're probably going to see 2 from HQ, so we could keep HQ safe even. If we advance the tree line, then they just they move the hush onto it. The hush is really sick included. I'm almost tempted to put the NGO on the outside, you know? Nah, it just doesn't make sense. So we might install the Hollow Man on R&D. I guess we just need to purge to get rid of this Master Chesto at some point. And then the server becomes more of an issue. Because my guess is this is on literally Thessalem banner and nothing else. There's probably more of these Melandrigums somewhere. Okay, we're gonna get a counter on this Vladisper city grid, which is sick. We might have to res it though. If we res it and we put a counter on it, I mean, I kind of got to go and run it, right? Would they be more interested in? Yeah, we could do, but unfortunately it doesn't because they've got a hush. So they just move the hush to wherever they want to run, which is a problem. I think we res this Vlad grid and we put the counter on the Vlad grid. They see a pop-up window and an NGO front. It does still take a click. That is true. It's like it's not useless. Like it does have. There's definitely a play there. Oh, they have enough money. Oh no, but now they don't have the click to do it. Is that res a next level ruse? Let's find. Well, up to you to find out. How does this Mercury still have money? I guess because it doesn't have any actual breakers. You just want me to run your pop-ups more? Maybe. I am enjoying the running through pop-ups. Oh, this is great. For a single, I'll take this one any day of week. I guess like pop-up window is kind of the best and also the worst dice against Mercury. Bit weird, right? It's like really good against like the whole like I'm just gonna inside job you type thing. Um, but equally, it's something that Mercury can run through and not have to break. Okay, DBS is actually a really good card here if we can stick that. But we have to just get this Stoke the Embers out of the bin. We're not trashing anything else here, are we? No. Damn, that's been in there a long time. And we put a counter here. And then we move these counters to here. And then we score it. And now, doesn't matter if we lose, because we did the nonsense. Hey, Odd Radish, how you doing? Very glad to have you here. I will overinstall the hush. Actually, it's definitely something that I should have considered doing. The counter goes on the flag grid, like obviously. Yeah, I see a hush and I just have like shape in particular Arisana in my head, and so I'm like, well, there's no point in overinstalling the hush because it just comes back. But this is criminal. It probably won't come back. We're lucky we had that combo, or they'd 100% have closed on this ball stay. Yeah, yeah. Can't clock that. I mean, I'm not sure how we win from here. Glad you liked the Inversificate. I loved it. It's great. I particularly just like the fact that Kit's doing really well at the moment. Like, what was the on the weekend? It was Canadian Nationals, right? Or something, Canats. And there were like 8 kits or something silly. Maybe not 8. Can't remember. But like a bunch of kits, and they did pretty well. Um, and like I'm a big fan of Inversificator. Like my Spark decks tend to play one Inversificator, one Lobosome, and an Orca because I really like the option of getting an Inversificator. Yeah, I think it's sick. There's also not a huge amount of carpool overlap, so unless it's specifically trick shot, World Tree Ari targeted ban shouldn't hit the kit decks too much. Yeah, World Tree Ari targeted ban, eh? What are you thinking? What's going on here? Are you just assuming there's another one in archives? Oh, I did. Everything's face down, isn't it? Yeah, we'll advance for Vladgrid. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is true. Like, there's not a big crossover between like Kit, sorry, and Arisana. And Trickshot doesn't deal with World Tree Arisana. Yeah. And it's like, they're not gonna ban Burner. Which isn't even like the most necessary card either. Uh yeah, I think the only answer is to ban the tree. Like if I haven't actually talked about this yet, but if World Tree is a problem, and maybe it is. Okay, yeah, they're going to get this. That makes sense. And maybe it is. Then the only real thing you can do is ban World Tree, and at that point, Kakasklab, you can bring back Woo, right? I think. Oh, whoops. Or I hope so. It's funny actually. One of the other ideas which I had for this stream today, and maybe we'll do it another stream, but I need to find enough people who are happy to like play against it, is to try out some decks which are Woo, but with World Tree banned in the current meta, because Axu suggested it last time. Yeah, we did say that you almost definitely can't bring back Woo with Coalescence. Like Coalescence and Muse are both super strong. Slap Vandal is super fun. I think I just purge here. Let me just think. Sorry, too sick. But it would be interesting to try. You know, just see what happens. Okay, so I can purge and get rid of this, or we can kind of want to get this daily business show out. So maybe the purge isn't correct. It might be like Messner Chesvo on R&D. Daily business show in a new remote. I can't just jam the remastered edition, can I? Could just jam the remastered edition. This costs two. This costs two. I think I can just jam the remastered edition. And I think I will. Yeah, I would imagine that Woo is still like Woo is incredibly powerful right now with some of the things which you have access to. But it would be interesting to actually see what the decks would be. So maybe we'll do that next week. I mean, we might be doing a bit of a like recap. Oh, you have 4 credits. Where did you get 4 credits from? Carpe Diem. Balls. Well, can exactly get into server 2 if he wants to. But yeah, it would be interesting to just like try a build and be like, well, what are the cards that go in this right now? Like, if you like, okay, you've got Coalescence, you've got Muse, like, uh, do you end up playing, uh, like, do you port Rosetta 2.0 in there and see what happens out of Woo, where you can always like pull out a Muse with a Coalescence at any point? Seems like kind of fun or disgusting. Um, like Coalescence into spec work seems like a lot of fun, pretty good. I mainly just want to play like Woo plus Slap Vandal because that just seems like really great as a like maybe Woo, Slap Vandal, Poison Vials, that kind of thing. Ooh, I love this run. I love this run. Do we risk it and advance the remastered edition? Highly tempting, right? Woo, Muse, reading Muse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds hot. Overclock is like the only thing which gets them in here, and I don't think there's overclock in this list. So I think I'm safe enough to advance the remastered. If I lose to exactly an overclock here, I'll be very upset. Let's see, the pop up on the Vasilisa. They take a credit. Sick. Okay, so here we're going to res for DBS. We're going to res for Hollow Man. We'll move Hollow Man into server 2. Oh, I wish business as usual could get rid of the Salems, but it doesn't. The predictive seems really good here, actually. Hot take: MBN should get a pre-nerf Astroscript near-print in Dawn. I don't think you can put it in Dawn. I would. I'm not against a pre-nerf well, maybe a slight nerf Astroscript. I don't think you can put it in Dawn, considering the fact that that's meant to be the like beginners like route in. It just doesn't make enough sense there. Okay, I reckon if I advance the tree line, it's going to look like we have something in hand. So I reckon we can advance tree line and then just reinstall something on R&D, probably just a pop-up window. Because I think this looks like we have the win in hand for next turn, and I think Holtz, Pub and Summon will run it next turn. Really, I think if it's there, it should be in the faction defining set. But are you talking like literally a 3-2 Astro script? Like one per deck? Right. Oh, so but isn't that post nerf? Oh, right. Sorry, that's someone else replying to you. Um, I mean, MBN does need something right now since losing Bologna. Um, I don't think it's AstroScript or not full on AstroScript. Uh, but maybe something. The problem is they're clearly trying. Like, there's a lot of stuff right now which is like trying to make. Where are you going here? Oh, I love this pop-up window in this case. Love this pop-up window. I'm just going to give a second in case they want to move this hush. Oh, we don't have the money to spend on this anyway, so we're going to res the perfect piece of ice for the occasion. Free two, standard free per deck. I think FA is a good kind of game to have in Netrunner. I do too. I like FA, but that seems like a bit too good to have in Netrunner. We will not apparently draw. Let's keep the black grid here. Right, we can still fast advance out if we draw a 3-2 off this, which we don't. So that's fine, I guess. Rashida in the server, like Vlad grid outside the server. Think. Like all we now need to, we just need to draw an agenda that we can fast advance at this point. Maybe give a small downside, lose 2 credits on score or similar. What if that was a cost? Like, I think it would have to be a cost, so it's not like you can't do it. I would not be at all against seeing Fast Advance Return as a core part of MBN's whole thing. But I think that's what what NSG have been trying to do recently, but in maybe a less broken manner. Like Stoke the Embers kind of feels like them trying to give MBN some fast advance options. king making like isn't fast advance, but is along a similar kind of idea where it's just looking for like how can we sort of score out very fast. Um, you can see my black grid. AstroScript is just so broken. I think it's like the top card on Trash or Bust though, right? It's like really, really insane. Right, we have to draw into the winning. Do we move this to server 4 just in case? No. I bloody hope so. Right, we're gonna draw 4 cards. Ah, there we go. We've got all the options. We do the cool option, right? So we'll add this to the bottom. We can go out in style. Res the flag grid. Trash everything from hand. No, let's not trash everything from hand just in case we screw this up. Install the Soak the Embers on server 4. Put a counter onto here. Could have got a 3-point Beal off this one. Put a counter there. Okay. Right, back to MBN fast advance. The F8, right, here we go. Sorry, I need to look at what Radish is saying here because this is like pretty relevant. Okay. Um, Agenda should be more than just points. I like funky effects more. I also like funky effects more, Cactus Lab, as anyone who knows my liking for armed intimidation and things like that. And yeah, the new stuff is kind of just not good. But I don't know. I guess I really enjoy Fast Advance as a way of playing. I guess the issue is that it's like, are you playing a game where it's like, are you playing against Clot or not against Clot? And that like completely changes your game plan, and the entire matchup is based around like a potential one silver bullet type thing being Clot, and what happens when Clot goes. Like, you probably have to bring in something else which does something in the way of that, but maybe in a different manner. In my opinion, all the factions should have access to that playstyle, so long as Jinteki gets FA options as well. It's cool. Yeah, I mean, Jinteki has got FA options. It's got Trick of Light currently. And it has Trick of Light. Jinteki having fast advance options has always been a problem if they're a bit too good because of PE. So that's an interesting one. Like, I don't think you can give. Yeah, Moonpool. Moonpool is actually really cool FA. I think Moonpool is fun, interesting, fast advance. It kind of requires, like, it's quite awkward to play. Night Wild Turtle requires you to have like a ton of agendas, which means that like your density is just fucking nuts. Um, I do really like Moonpool. It's also like quite expensive. Like, you need to have it down. I think Moonpool is a very cool card and has some interesting like interesting synergy in many ways. Um, and I think that's about as good as Jinteki Fast Advance should get. You know, we don't really want sort of shipment from Tenin back, for instance. Um, I don't think. I mean, it's still banned, and I think it's still banned for a reason. Like, if PE can just fast advance out Stings and House of Knives without it costing them an arm and a leg, then it becomes a problem. Um, but yeah, I mean, MBN definitely needs to go somewhere, and at the moment, MBN scoring out in a remote is not really it. Um, maybe maybe people just need to explore like Vladimir City Grid more. It's good. It's good fast advance tool. And they have got Hollow Man now, as much as that's very expensive. But yeah, I think any kind of talk of like bringing back, I mean, we haven't even brought back Astro Script into Eternal. Like there's talk of it, like, and it's probably fine. You can probably just bring back 3 times Astro Script in Eternal, and it'll be all right. Um, but you just can't do it. Backroom is a cool card which saw play once in soccer's deck. Uh, I think yeah, Backroom is genuinely interesting, slightly slept on, and would have won us this game like years ago. Um, it's like it could be a point from nowhere. Right. With that, I'm probably going to take myself off to bed. Thanks everyone for joining the stream. Thanks for chatting. It's been actually pretty fun tonight, even though I came into this stream like absolutely knackered. I will be maybe streaming the regionals on Saturday. So keep an eye out. I'm still like basically I kind of got the setup ready, and it just depends on whether it wants to work on the day or not. And I'll either stream the games or I'll record the games, and I'll maybe we'll play them back with some commentary on the Monday or something. Or I'll record the Swiss games and we'll try and like just stream the top cut or something. But I'm gonna try and stream at least some of the games from the regionals on Saturday. So yeah, maybe keep a lookout for that, and hopefully that works. It's gonna be my first time like streaming live games on a table as opposed to on JNet. So WooTube, I never have problems with technical issues, so I'm sure it'll be absolutely great. Anyway, thanks everyone. I will hopefully catch you next week or sometime sooner. And until then,